the Houston Rockets select Jabari Smith Jr. from Auburn University.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy ShadyMikeGaming, and welcome to another NBA 2K22 jump shot fix, guys. Today we've got Houston Rockets rookie Jabari Smith, the 3rd overall pick in the draft. Really excited to get working on Jabari Smith. I think you guys are really going to like this one. Now, we've got just about 2 weeks until NBA 2K23 drops, so I'm trying to knock out as many players as possible, before 2K23 drops. It'll be interesting to see how these signature shots translate over from 22 to 23. Is there going to be stuff that we have to tweak? Is there going to be new stuff? So that's going to be a lot of fun. But first and foremost, guys, if you do like this type of content, these jump shots, please go ahead and give me a like on the video, and also subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any more of our upcoming content. I want to do a couple more jump shots. I want to do our final modding showcase for 2K22 as well, so keep it locked to the channel for that. But for right now, let's go ahead and get into Jabari Smith. All right, so when we take a look at Jabari Smith's base, one key detail that we want to make sure that we're able to capture is Jabari, when he shoots, most of his shots are going to be set shots. Most of them come from pick and pop opportunities. So there's going to be a couple specific details that we're going to look to try and capture in his base. The first is going to be his foot placement. When we take a look at Jabari's foot placement, you're always going to notice that right foot is slightly in front of the left. He kind of positions his body angled just a little bit to the left with that right foot moving forward. Another key detail that we want to make sure that we're able to capture is his knees. When he goes to shoot, you're going to notice his knees do bend inwards quite a bit, with a little bit of a dip. His knees actually almost touch together, and then when he elevates, you're going to notice through the elevation, he actually gets, even though it is kind of a set shot, he gets pretty good elevation, and you're going to see those legs swing through the shot. So not an incredibly complicated base, but it's very consistent, and you notice all of these details every time you see Jabari shoot the basketball. Now, when we move over to Jabari's release and his form, we're gonna kind of take a look at some more details, but there were some things that I was noticing was a little bit different from his shot in the summer league versus the shot at Auburn. So I was trying to really look at the differences and just really look at the similarities in terms of what we were going to try and capture with the jump shot. So the first thing with Jabari's form is, number one, his release point is very high. He has a high release, but remember, guys, it's okay to have a high release, but sometimes where 2K makes its mistakes is with those high releases, the ball is kind of directly over, or even kind of like in the back of their head, and that's what we really want to fix. Jabari's release is going to be really, even though it's high, it's actually more so near like his hairline. So it's high, but kind of like in front of his forehead. When you look at the shot from the right, you'll notice his arm angle is just a little bit over 90 degrees, so it's not quite 90 degrees, it's a little bit higher than that, and you're going to notice that right shooting elbow is going to be pointing upwards ever so slightly. One thing we wanted to capture as well is the offhand placement. For the most part, that offhand was a couple different places and a couple different stills that I saw, but for the most part, he's like on top of the ball, so we did our best to capture that. I honestly think it could have been a little bit higher, but I still really like what we got here. And one small detail in terms of the motion of the shot is when he shoots, always hard to capture this angle, but his hands stay close together, and that entire off arm kind of moves forward with the shot. All right, guys, so when we take a look at Jabari Smith's jump shot for the base, we're going with base 31. That gives us that perfect form for him. You know, I did think base 25 might have been a potential alternate base for him, but I did decide to stick with base 31, but that's, you know, personal preference there. For the release, of course, we're going with release 137. 137 alone, I thought looked a lot like Jabari's shot, but 156, the blend really gets us that perfect motion, and we're going to go with timing slow for the shot. As we move to the free throw, guys, we're going to go with free throw 13. Now free throw 13 form wise, it does have this thumb flick there that he doesn't really have, but the number one takeaway is Jabari has like this hitch at the top of his free throw, and I thought that 13 was the best one to capture that hitch, so that's why I used it. For the dribble pull up, this was another one, guys. I think I might lose a couple of you with this one, but I just really liked it. I went with Chris Paul. Now, in order to put Chris Paul on Jabari, you do have to lower his height, so do keep that in mind. Drop him down to like 6 foot and then change it to Chris Paul, and then you can, you know, raise it back up. But on a lot of his pull-ups, he was just doing like these leg kicks. He has a lot of like hezzy pull-ups, and he's also got like a sidestep that looked a lot like the Chris Paul one, so I went with it. If you really don't like the Chris Paul one, I feel like we can back it up with footage, but if you really don't like it, basic is a very, very, very good alternative for Jabari as well, but I just really like this one. I did not change his spin jumper. For the hop jumper, we went with normal, especially when he's going to his left. It's a very quick textbook step back, no double dribbles or anything along the lines of that, so I really like normal for Jabari. As we move over to the layup package, I went with default small. He's a very mobile big, but when he attacks the rim, he's just very agile. He attacks it like a guard, and these animations for him look fantastic with his size. Like with him being 6'10", a lot of these animations look really good. Now for the dunks, I mean, he's got some dunks at Auburn, but honestly, guys, I wasn't going through all of his college footage to find all of his dunks, so I did kind of improvise here. I went with, you know, a lot of athletic one-handers and some basics and some hangs and then some under basket regular type stuff. So you know, this was more so improvised, but it is still based off some of his footage from Auburn. Now, as we move over to the post game, guys, I really like for the fade, I like normal too. What it does is when he fades to the left, he does have kind of like he extends that right leg to give him some space to get his shot off. When we go to the post hop shot, we go with Devin Booker because when he does that post hop shot, he takes an extra step to give him some room to get the shot off. So that was very accurate to what we had seen from Jabari. Now, as we move to the handle, now Jabari will bring the ball up from time to time, but he's definitely not an isolation player on the perimeter where he's going to be doing a whole bunch of crossovers and size ups and things of that nature. So for the signature combo, I tried to keep it as simple as possible. I went with the Donovan Mitchell signature combo because when he does dribble, and we've seen a couple examples of this, but he's very low to the ground. He's got a couple in between the legs crosses, but nothing too insane. So I really thought the Donovan Mitchell signature size up works very well for Jabari Smith.